On June 22nd, the rap world stood still as reports were being released of New York rapper Lil Tjay being involved in an altercation, where he was then left in critical condition. However, with the release of his newest song called Beat the Odds, the story of what happened to Lil Tjay was revealed. Now that Lil Tjay is able to communicate, the police are wanting to speak with him on details surrounding the incident. And with the police gaining information on the incident, there was a leak in the court files. In this leak, they showcase photos of Muhammad K, the main suspect in this case, being involved in many of A Boogie with the Hoodie's music videos. After further investigation, it was realized that Muhammad has ties with A Boogie and is a close member in street teams within Highbridge. The Highbridge music label that A Boogie with the Hoodie is signed to had another artist say this: "Word to my mother, I'm not saving anyone no more. Next time we see him, buddy getting stripped out of everything, respectively. I'm telling you now." Now this is meaning more of his chains being snatched, which was the main goal in the incident that happened to Lil Tjay. The Lil Tjay and A Boogie beef has been going on ever since Tjay's quick rise to fame, with both artists having a very similar sound. With being from two different camps within New York, it sparked an issue with A Boogie back in February of 2020 when A Boogie with the Hoodie tweeted, "Light bet. Keep on trying to sound like me without showing love, and I'ma start to sue ya." For real though, this is getting out of hand. I'm not trying to knock nobody's hustle, but I'm just getting sick of the craft y'all bringing to the table, making this boring. Tjay would then reply to his tweet saying, "People be mad when it's the next person's turn to shine. Move out of the way and watch me win." Now, it wasn't long until a short clip was then released to the internet. In a stairwell, Lil Tjay was asked, "People out here are saying you're an A Boogie clone," where Lil Tjay replies, "Me personally, I don't try to copy anything. There will always be rumors made, but I ain't a clone." And with that information being in the police files for the court case, the feds also had another situation highlighted, which is very concerning about Tjay's situation. Now, as on early morning of June 22nd, news outlets were reporting that New York rapper Lil Tjay was in an altercation where firearms were used. Now, with two different stories being released, here's actually what happened to Tjay according to reports. Now, in the Edgewater area of New Jersey, Lil Tjay alongside two friends named Jeffrey Valdez and Antoine Boyd were ran up on in a Chipotle parking lot located in a hotel. Now, as Lil Tjay and his two friends were inside of the vehicle, suspect Muhammad K, age 27, ran up on Lil Tjay inside of a BMW with other men. Muhammad K then approached Lil Tjay's window of the vehicle, where he would very aggressively ask Lil Tjay for the chains that are around his neck, with Lil Tjay obviously refusing, and then starts grabbing for something in the glove compartment. This is where Muhammad K allegedly used his firearm towards Lil Tjay several times. Muhammad K also ended up using the firearm towards one of Lil Tjay's boys as well. With this all going down, one of Lil Tjay's boys inside of the vehicle started retaliating against Muhammad, defending his two boys, especially Lil Tjay, who was quickly in very bad condition. This is when Muhammad K was then seen falling to the ground as Lil Tjay's boys connected a few while he was trying to run back to his vehicle. The driver of the BMW then hops out of his vehicle, grabbing Muhammad and helping him get back to the BMW, where he was then dragged through the parking lot and even some bushes. With Muhammad back in the vehicle, the driver of the BMW then starts speeding towards the local hospital, where he would then leave Muhammad at the front doorstep before driving away. With that going down, people near the scene quickly called an ambulance for Lil Tjay and company. This is when a helicopter even showed up and airlifted Lil Tjay to the local hospital. Lil Tjay's friend, who was also affected by the firearm, got out of it with no serious damage, as Lil Tjay was obviously the main target. While waiting for the ambulance, Valdez and Boyd tried calming down Lil Tjay, and with the ambulance arriving very quickly, they started doing everything possible to save Tjay, which was successful. This is when a few minutes go by and a helicopter then arrives to the scene, airlifting Lil Tjay to the local hospital, where thankfully paramedics and doctors were able to get processes done fast, which upgraded Lil Tjay from critical to stable condition. But here is where the story gets very interesting. According to the police reports, Lil Tjay was rushed to the same hospital as Muhammad. Now in New York City, there is cameras everywhere. You can't really commit a crime like this without being caught very quickly. As mentioned earlier, Muhammad was affected by one of Tjay's boys while he was trying to run away, with the driver of the BMW dragging him through the parking lot and even through bushes to get away. His shoes fell off in the process, and he even fell into a patch of mulch that was located near the curb. As he fell to the ground into the mulch, he was then also covered in dirt. When he was dropped off at the local hospital, doctors realized that there's a man here affected by a firearm, covered in dirt with no shoes on. And at the scene of the crime was a pair of shoes as well as a big patch of mulch gone from out of the garden. So when a patient arrives to a local hospital that is affected by firearms, by law, doctors at the hospital must contact law enforcement immediately and give them an update on what is going on. So it only took 3 minutes for law enforcement and the people at the hospital to connect this crime. This is where we saw Muhammad get arrested at the hospital. Within a total of 10 minutes, he was in handcuffs. And with him being arrested so quickly, his mugshot was then released to social media, where many people online realized this is the same man located in many of A Boogie with the Hoodie's music videos. But this is also when we saw YouTuber Hassan Campbell come in. The streets revealed a lot of things that the feds had no idea about. Now, everything I mentioned is records from the police. Here's where Hassan comes in with many connections in the streets. He got a different word of what happened on that night. Now follow along. He mentions the police is covering up the entire thing for the hotel property that this happened on. Hassan mentions that Lil Tjay was sitting in a parked vehicle outside of a hotel in New York. With Lil Tjay sitting inside of this parked car, he was alongside his cousin Bubba, and his third friend actually wasn't in the vehicle. In the police report, there was 3 people inside of the car, but the streets are saying there was only 2. As instead, the third friend was upstairs in a hotel room, using the restroom at a pretty convenient time. Now, when the situation broke down, the third friend stayed in the bathroom in the hotel, which is pretty interesting. The suspect, Muhammad, who initially ran up on Lil Tjay, was indeed affected by a firearm, but it was not from Lil Tjay's crew. As Hassan mentions, there was multiple men with firearms trying to catch Tjay LACKIN. So with Muhammad being the front man and arriving to the window first, one of the other men with a firearm located more in the back of the group must have gotten nervous and actually used a firearm against Muhammad. Now this is when Muhammad fell to the ground, as one of the suspects going after Tjay then picked up Muhammad, dragged him through the bushes to their vehicle parked on the other side. That way they can drive away. Now this explains the mulch all over Muhammad's clothing and why his shoes fell off. And all while this was going down, Tjay's friend was still in the bathroom. This raises the question of, was Tjay targeted? Did Lil Tjay's friends set him up? Hassan is very connected to the streets. Personally, I believe him more than the feds on this situation, but let me know what you think. Leave a comment down below if you are a Tjay fan, and leave a like. I'm curious how many Tjay fans are watching today.